If you're a real estate investor and you are looking to get motivated sellers to your website organically, you've probably been faced with this question. Should I use Carrot or should I use another provider just like WordPress? And we're going to deep dive in this video in a completely unbiased opinion, so let's get straight into it. So here we are with a completely out-of-the-box WordPress website, and I just pulled a random template. I used Hostinger to create this one, and it's a completely random template that WordPress had. The closest one I could find that was real estate related was this one. Obviously, as you can see, this is made typically for real estate agents, and you can see it's a very nice looking website. Just the downsides that it doesn't have what Carrot has. Obviously, this form you'd have to hook up to wherever it's going to go. You need to hook up your own notifications. You also need to hook up your own phone number and multiple other things like that. Also, as you can see here, there's no content written already for you that Carrot already has. But otherwise, it's a great looking website, and that's a good thing about WordPress is you can really develop it on your own if you have the time and expertise and really the money to spend to do so. And if you want to take the hard route, this is definitely a good way to do it if you want a different looking website rather than Carrot. All right, so now we have pulled up a completely out of the box for the Carrot side of things. And as you can see here, this is a lot different looking than the WordPress website. It's all real estate related, of course, because out of the box, it took me 15 seconds for just to push up a button to create this. We buy houses in Nashville, Tennessee for cash, as you can see matched up with my domain. Has all this stuff, a Google testimonial, has pre-written content already for want to sell your house fast in Nashville, Tennessee. Has everything already there, photos, placeholders if you want to stick testimonials, a lot of good things. So as you can see here, Carrot is definitely a much easier route if you want a specific template for real estate. If especially if you don't have a lot of time and you don't want to spend a lot of money to get it up. This is a very cheap and efficient way because, like I said, it took me 15 seconds just to push up a button to get this exactly created. I did absolutely nothing to this. And so it's a great looking website, but we'll kind of go into the intricacies of what performs better and what works better in further in this video. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to go ahead and look at when it comes to performance is I'm going to look at the site speed. And as you can see, I have pulled up your Google Page Speed Insights where it's completely free. You can test your site speed no matter what URL you put in there. And as you can see, I have a temporary URL from Hostinger for the WordPress website that I created, and it's going to give us a score. So obviously this is very important when you're getting a website set up because if the speed can be slow, sometimes if people click on your website and they're not able to actually visit your website, they're not going to wait too long to get in there. We want to make sure it's fast, efficient, and people are going to click on it and get in it right away so they stay there and they actually look at what's in our website because it's going to help our ranking if people are staying on our website longer in the long term. So as you can see here, we have an 86 mobile score, which isn't bad out of the box. That's not terrible. It's actually better than what I thought it was going to be based off with all the kind of the design that it had. And then you go to desktop and it's a 90. So not bad. I would consider this pretty good for WordPress's side of things. And then you go over to Carrot here. As you can see with the mobile, there's a little bit of a struggle here. There could be a lot of different reasons to do this, and there's updates that you can make. There's a lot of extensions that you can add to make sure it's much faster than this. It's a very easy fix. But obviously this is a little bit of an issue when it comes to the mobile side of things. Now you get to the desktop and it's about an 81, which is not bad. And as long as you're really above that 80 mark, that's what I like to see. It's really not going to make a huge difference. Obviously we want to be close as we can to 100 as much as possible. But as long as we're above that 80 mark, really within any good Wi-Fi connection, a motivated seller would be able to click on your website and get it to it very quick. That way they're not going to leave and go to somebody else's website. So there's the page speed insights. We'll go on to our next thing. And now what I want to talk about next is going to be the design editor and being the ability of how easy it is to really design the website yourself. So as you can see here, pulled up first, I have the WordPress website. And you can go through and it's very easy to edit text if you want to. Obviously this really isn't anything that we'd be concerned about. I definitely would take all this out. And the hard part about this is a website like this, I would really have to change this up quite a bit. And obviously you can hire your own web designers for a pretty decent cost, but in this case, this is honestly something that I would really revamp completely on a different level. It's pretty unfortunate because it would take a lot of time and maybe a little bit of money to do so. Obviously the website does look very good, but it's just not something that is real estate related as far as being able to portray yourself as a cash home buyer. Obviously this looks very sexy in a way and something that a real estate agent would use, which obviously we're not realtors. We need to make sure that a motivated seller would click on our website and be able to give that local feel to the website. So this is something where I would probably hire a designer a little bit. You can obviously change a lot of things yourself and make it look completely different, but it's just going to look a lot of more different from Carrot, where I think Carrot is very good at and making a local presence that way, because motivated sellers like to see local investors. So what we're going to move on to is next here is the Carrot editor. As you can see here, it's really basically just the website we saw before as well. And the nice thing is, like I said, it's already made for real estate investors. It's there. It's giving you recommendations like adding one of your testimonials from your Google pages, pre-written content that you can rewrite onto, or you can use honestly straight out. But I would honestly recommend adding more content to it and making it more niche local. And then there's more video testimonials. It's encouraging you to be even more local with it. It's adding, pre-made photos for you. I would change these photos out to maybe houses that you do already, or have under contract, or whatever the case may be, something that people would be able to tell are in your local area. That's a good thing. Obviously, it's got pre-written stuff like this. Why choose us to sell your Market City house fast, right? Has a lot of good graphics like stop foreclosure, inherited a property, all this stuff that unfortunately this website really just isn't made for. You'd have to get it completely designed either yourself and spend hours doing it, or hire somebody else. So that's the huge benefit to Carrot, is really just gives you such a good template with such good graphics that it saves you a ton of money instead of having to pay for a different developer to actually design your website the way that Carrot already has it set for you. So that's design. We'll go on to the next part. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is some SEO add-ons that Carrot has that WordPress maybe doesn't have, that would be a huge benefit and save us tons of time. So the first thing I'm going to mention here is our meta title and meta description. This is super important because this is what displays on Google when people are scrolling through the SERPs, meaning the search engine results page, for if they look up sell my house fast or whatever keywords you're ranking for. This is what they see displayed on Google before they click on your website. This is what I would consider like a website thumbnail in a way. And so as you can see here, meta title, it's completely already set up for you, no matter how many locations, if it's your home page or a location page. We'll talk about that here later. But as you can see here, it is completely already optimized for you for real estate investors. Sell your house fast in whatever market, city, market, state, sell your house fast for cash, right? And then you go to the description, need to sell your house fast in whatever market, we buy houses, yada, yada. It's completely optimized already for real estate investors, and that's what's super awesome, because if you are able to duplicate this page and you're gonna make location pages and you're gonna make all these other things, it's gonna be super, super easy to already just launch this website within 10 minutes if you really wanted to. So that's a huge benefit. The next thing I want to talk about is going to be alt text with images. And this is a huge deal because alt text is kind of a secret little hack in the SEO world. And the reason I say that is because what alt text basically is it's Google's way of, if you weren't able to see your photo, how would you describe it? Well, the good thing about alt text is you are able to use that as an SEO ranking benefit. So as you can see here, when I click on this image, I'm going to provide alternative text right here, and Carrot makes it super easy to do it instantly, right? Which I'll show you on the WordPress side of things here later. But as you can see here, it says we buy houses in any situation and close fast. When you have your main level or top level keywords you're trying to rank for in your alt text, it's going to significantly just give you a nice little boost on your SEO rankings. Now, obviously, it's very easy to do this, and it's very nice, and it's something that you need to do on every single one of your images, where WordPress makes it a little bit more difficult to do this. And so, as you can see here, when I click on this image, it's not really going to give me anything as far as like being able to change my alt text. I actually have to go in my media file and go in and completely change the alt text from there. And so what the problem is if you wanted to have a different location, or you wanted to have a different alt text for different spots, you're going to have to go in and change and add a different picture for every single location that you do. Where Carrot, they absolutely thrive in this. You can duplicate it, and they use shortcode, which we'll also talk about later, where whatever market you're trying to go in, it's going to be able to easily duplicate this, so you don't have to do this for every single page. So that's alt text. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is going to be schema code. And basically what schema is it basically tells Google what your website is about. It's essentially like the first page or the table of contents to your website. So you can tell Google, hey, here's what my website's about. It's going to help boost your rankings a little bit faster, and it help Google understand when they crawl your website and what you're actually trying to do. And so as you can see here, if I look up house buyers in Nashville, I have a Chrome extension that tracks schema, and you can see that it has website, organization, local business already for you. And this is already done for you. This is crazy because usually with WordPress, you have to add this manually. You can go here, and obviously this is the place where you edit your meta title and meta descriptions that you'd have to manually do each page as well, and for descriptions and whatever the case may be. But as you go here too, if you go back and I go back here, it's going to show that schema, but it's going to give you only basic web page schema. So if you're, especially as a real estate investor, you're going to want to be niched down as possible. So you can tell Google, hey, I'm a real estate investor, I buy houses. If you have basic web page schema, as you can see right here, it's not really going to help boost your rankings. You want to be as niche as possible. So that's another massive pro with Carrot on top of all the other good things. So meta title, meta description, easily transferable if you're adding a location page or not. Alt text as well, it's easily transferable if you change a city name or whatever it is, as well as schema. Just keeps it very niche, and it's just going to increase your rankings significantly. Obviously, you can do all this stuff with WordPress. It's just going to take a lot of extra time and a lot of extra things that Carrot already provides for you. Lucky enough, for being real estate investors, this is a platform made just for us. So we'll go on to our next thing here. Now, the next thing I want to talk about involving Carrot versus WordPress is by using a form integration or some way to integrate your CRM with getting leads. Now, as much as simple as this would think, I mean, this is a huge luxury when using Carrot. So in your settings, you can put in your phone number, you put in obviously your company name, your email, city name, and market state, right? It completely varies how you want to do this. But the good thing about Carrot is the minute that somebody fills out your form, instantly you have to do no integrations whatsoever. You are going to get that notification every single time. As easy as that sounds, it's a huge luxury compared to WordPress, where with this form right here, you have to use a short code that you have to integrate with an extra service that uses SMS capabilities like Twilio and all these other SMS things that make sure that you get the text message. You have to separately do this, which is an extra charge each and every single month, probably anywhere from $10 to $30 a month. Whereas also with WordPress, you need to use WP Forms or a different one where you can add in your own form so that you actually are able to receive emails as well with this. And it's very, very difficult to get this integrated with WordPress. I mean, that's the beauty of WordPress, is you can do whatever you want with it, but it's also a huge downside if you don't have much experience or time on your hands. Whereas with Carrot, I can fill out this form instantly, and it's going to go to my email and phone number that I have listed in here within seconds without ever having to deal with any sort of SMS capabilities, any sort of emailing problems, any sort of extra integration like WP Forms or anything like that you have to charge for, which is most of the time an extra $100 just to actually receive the lead via notification, let alone if you want to add it to your CRM. So that's a big thing I also wanted to mention here too, is that the ability to get a notification every time you get a lead is absolutely seamless, unlike WordPress. Now, the next, Nashville to Knoxville, and it's going to be a very long, lengthy process. Plus, I have to add my own schema code. I have to change the market settings in each and every individual piece of alt text, and with that too, it's not as accessible as a Carrot, so you have to go in the media file and actually do it myself. And so it can become a huge issue when scrolling through the website, and you have to, if you, especially having location pages like real estate investors do quite a bit of the time, it's going to be an issue having WordPress if you want a lot of locations. It's going to take about 5 times the extra amount of time it would if you had a Carrot site. That's the beauty of having Carrot site, with it being real estate investor niches. It's going to take us about a fraction of the time and give us 5 times the optimacy as WordPress would from the beginning. So all in all here, what's the conclusion? Should I use Carrot or should I use WordPress? And it really all comes down to what your fit is. With Carrot, it is super simple. It's real estate made just for you, and you can add all kinds of location, and it's very simple to use, and you can set one up yourself without really having to do much design very quickly. Whereas WordPress, it can get very complicated. Now, the benefit to that is you can add in your own backend coding, and you can do all your stuff with it the way exactly you want it to. So if you want to spend extra time on it, you want to make it a different design than all the other Carrot designs out there, it's a huge benefit. So I'm not knocking one or the other. Obviously, as you can tell, I'm a huge Carrot fan, just because if we are having a software in this day and age that has the ability to make websites for real estate investors with the snap of a finger and make our lives a little bit easier and get more motivated sellers at the same time, making us more money, why wouldn't you use it, right? And that's the way I kind of see it. For example, with all of my clients at Marketing for Motivated Sellers, I completely use Carrot for mostly all of them unless they tell me otherwise, right? And there's a big reason for that, because not only do we have a lot of time that we save with it, our optimacy is much, much higher than all these other with WordPress, where we have to add on all this extra stuff, which can slow down the performance performance, slow down the website, and just not make it good as good as Carrot, really. And so if you're interested in getting your website at the top of Google to get motivated sellers, please visit marketingformotivatedsellers.com, where I'd love to hop on a call with you. Fill out the application and we can see if you'd be a good fit to be an SEO client for us to get more motivated sellers. But without further ado, I appreciate you watching the video. If you have any questions or concerns, please comment below. Like if you enjoyed the videos, and I'd mean the world to me if you subscribe. But thanks for watching today's video.